It is Monday, December 13th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Jet Home Loans. And now, a guy who successfully had Michael Strahan going into space before Kim Kardashian became a lawyer.
Wow.
J.P. Shadrick.
You heard it here first. It came true. Welcome in. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. Busy program as usual. CBS Sports senior writer Pete Prisco joining us. Pride of the Jaguars left tackle Tony Boselli. We'll review Week 14. Titans 20, Jaguars nothing. Urban Meyer taking some heat again after some weekend reports. Offense was shut out in the game. The defense fought the best they could. Draft talk begins because the Jaguars have been officially eliminated from the postseason. Social media questions will go around the NFL in Week 14. Let's review the Titans over the Jaguars 20-0. The Jaguars' second 5-game losing streak of the season. The Jags shut out for the first time since 2009. Held under 200 yards for the third time this season and now in back-to-back games. And the worst part of it, a franchise record low 8 rushing yards on a franchise record low 8 rushing attempts, 7 of those by running backs. This performance after the weekend report by Tom Pelissero of NFL Media of discontent and tension boiling over with coaches, players, and head coach Urban Meyer. And then Urban after the game on his conversations with owner Shad Khan and Urban's belief on getting this turned around.
I assured him that I still believe in my heart we will. How fast? That depends on, once again, I still think there's good pieces. You watched what you watched out there today. Miles Jack and that defense and some of those kids, Roy, Smoot. Those guys were playing their tails off. You get a couple scores on offense, you're right there, and we didn't do it. So what's the answer? Start leaking information or some nonsense? No, that's nonsense. That's garbage. That's once again, I've been very blessed. I've not really dealt with that. I've not dealt with, well, did you hear what he said? What? No, let's improve on offense and get our quarterback in a position to be successful. That's our focus. What someone's brother said or someone said, that will occupy very little of my time. And if there is a source, that source is unemployed. Within seconds, if there's some source that's doing it.
That's Urban Meyer yesterday, Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco with us now here on Jaguars Happy Hour. Good afternoon, Tony.
Good afternoon. Well, there is a source, to be clear. Let's be clear. And I appreciate what Urban said, but Tom Pelissero is a national writer that's pretty well respected. And Jason LaCanfora, which I know everyone can't stand in Jacksonville, but
he's a popular guy.
But is also so Tom Pelissero with NFL.com, Jason LaCanfora with CBS Sports, which is Pete's company, employer. These are respectable guys that typically, and I'll let Pete speak to this, don't report stuff unless they have confirmed sources in a building. So it's either coming from the building or it's coming through an agent that got it from their client in the building. So there's sources. Now, Urban has said the whole thing is not true about the Marvin Jones. He said that today again in his press conference. And I'm not here to say who's right, who's wrong, who's telling the truth. I'm just telling you what's out there. And so he's denying it. Tom Pelissero doubled down.
He did today.
The bottom line is this, in my opinion, this thing's not working right now. You're regressing as an offense. Your first overall pick is regressing as a player. You have scored 9 points a game since the bye. You have talked about wanting to rush the ball, and you ran it 8 times. They had 6 rushes, JP, because I heard Urban today, and I disagree with them. Well, the game gets out of hand. No. It was a 10-0 game in the middle of the third quarter, and you would run the ball 6 times. That doesn't line up. And so, those are the things that are going on. We'll talk about it all today, but it's there's not a lot of happiness in paradise right now.
Pete Prisco, good afternoon to you.
What is up? Look, they're journalists. They don't make stuff up. They're not making it up. I mean, look, I just happened to look back at a tweet in August and from the 1010 XL account. I just found it. It said Pete Prisco is hearing players aren't thrilled with Urban Meyer. I mean, that was a long time ago. I didn't make it up, okay? And to say that journalists or whoever make it up is ridiculous. Your reputation is on the line. There's stuff there. There's plenty of stuff, and I've mentioned some of it on here. Okay, we've mentioned plenty of it on here. I've mentioned plenty of it on CBS Sports HQ over the last 4 months. There have been incidences. There have been issues. Players griping, moaning, groaning. Okay, that's happened. For him to say he's not concerned about it, okay, maybe he isn't. That's the same as Tom Coughlin used to say he wasn't concerned about any of it, and then he'd complain about all of it. Of course, they're concerned about it. That's just the way of life it is. And I've had many a talk with coaches. I said this to them. I go, why would you care so much about it? Why? And a lot of it is, their reputation. I get it. But it's not made up. Let's be real. It's not made up. So how can you prove it's made up? You can't. If you go ask Marvin Jones if he had that incident, that issue with Urban, what's he going to say? Yes, I did. Then Urban's lying. No, I didn't. Then Pelissaro, it looks bad. So I think where there's smoke, there's fire. It's a situation in Jacksonville. You can't deny that. And Urban, if he was truthful, he would know that. He knows that. There's nothing warm and fuzzy with him and his coaches and his players. It just isn't. Now, whether he can fix that, who knows? Who knows? And whether Shad Khan wants him to fix it, we don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he thinks he can fix it. Maybe he thinks he can change him. But this much I know. Trevor Lawrence is rotting away before our eyes. And I think it's up to Trevor. This is something that I think should happen. Trevor Lawrence, who is the franchise. He is the franchise. It's not Urban Meyer. It's Trevor Lawrence. He's the franchise. And if they're eroding his skills and letting all his talent rot away, then he needs to go to Shad Khan. And his agent, they need to go to Shad Khan. And they need to sit down and say, you know what? This isn't working. If they want him out, then that's on them. We don't decide who gets fired. We don't. That's not our job. Our job is to evaluate it. And on the outside looking in, and I'm not in every meeting, and neither is Tony or neither are you, JP.
Yep.
It's just not working. It's a disaster. There's no other way to describe it. And here's the worst thing about it. I've been around that team since 1994, and even before that, when Wayne Weaver was the owner and Touchdown Jacksonville. I was the first guy who was around those people all my life. I was around Tom Coughlin day in and day out. He was an obsession of mine. And I've been around that building for a long time, and I know that fan base. And everybody mocks the fan base, which is a joke because there's a passionate fan base there. Nationally, there's who goes to their games. You guys know. And the generation that's they're diehard fans. They grew up with it. They didn't sleep and go to school when they lost the championship game in '99. They're passionate as hell, and they care. And I never have ever seen it this bad among the fan base, ever. In the worst years they've ever had, it's never been this bad. And that's the problem. Because I think the tickets are not going to get sold, and that's when you have a problem. They're the most disgruntled I've ever seen them. And you guys live in town now. I don't, but I talk to a lot of people, and I read a lot of stuff, and I hear a lot of things. This is the worst the fan base has ever been. And it's unfair to them because now there's a reputation out there. Oh, well, they won't go buy tickets. It's a bad fan base. No, it's not. It's a great fan base. It's a young fan base. The foo-foo wine and cheese crowd that went in the 90s, they're gone. But now it's a diehard fan base, and they need to be heard. And if they want changes, I think that the people need to pay attention.
That's Pete Prisco, CBS Sports.
Well,
bringing
it's
it's
not
frustrating. It's frustrating for all sides.
Absolutely,
it's frustrating across the hall over here too.
Frustrated.
No
I'm
doubt.
sure the coaches are frustrated. The players are frustrated. Urban said something I agree with. When you lose, it's maddening. You put this much time and effort in. He's right. But right now, I tend to agree with Pete. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a lot of chirping going on, and there's some sources. There's somebody in the building that is feeding this, and there's probably more than one because typically you're not going to write something that explicit without confirming sources. And what extent it happened to, I don't know. I'm not here. I just know this. You are 2-11. Your offense is atrocious.
Yeah, they scored 0 points yesterday.
You have no identity. I can't tell you what you're trying to do. The fact that we ran the ball 8 times yesterday is unacceptable, in my opinion.
7
with the running back. It's unacceptable. You have a struggling quarterback. You have a offensive receiving core that struggles to get open by themselves one-on-one.
We saw that a time or two.
You have an offensive line who's struggling in the passing game right now. Like, you have to run the ball. And they did not. They didn't do it. They didn't try to do it. The run game is something that where you have to be committed to it and understand, as long as you're within, shouting distance, and 10-0, you're in shouting distance in the middle of the third quarter. Because your defense is playing good football. Like, you can trust them. Mm-hmm. You have to be running it, and you have to be okay with 3 yards, 2 yards, maybe no gain. Hey, I'll bust a 5, get an 8. Like, you have to keep going. And, it's okay to run on 2nd and 10 when your defense is playing the way they were. But having 8 carries in a game that was 10-0 in the middle of the third, that's just not very good. It's not well thought out. And that's my struggle. That's where you start getting frustrated. And I think we're the fan base, and you watch the game, and I call the games. It's like, what are we doing? What's the game plan? What's our identity? What are we trying to do to help 16? And it's been this, and JP, I've been consistent with this from the first day when we threw it 51 times against Houston. And I thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
I remember that.
That your best player, James Robinson, and you're not feeding him and working through him. And they have yet to do it. We went through the carries a couple weeks ago. I don't think they have a great plan. I don't understand it. I don't know what they're trying to do.
All right, here's a question for you both. Can Urban and can the coaching staff and players pull something together in the final month? We haven't seen much of that lately, honestly, since the bye week.
There's no evidence that tells me they can.
I mean, they can.
No, now you got to.
No, I'm saying no. There's no evidence. I'm not saying they can't.
Evidence that they've done it. Yeah.
So
offensively, why would you think?
Yeah, there's no evidence offensively.
They're worse.
They're going
worse
backwards.
than they've been. They're getting worse, and the defense actually played well and hard on Sunday, so that's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
And here's the thing, Pete. Like, I know what Joe Cullen wants to do. Like, this is who they are. They're going to try to play good run defense, or they're going to blitz the out of you. And they're going to try to pressure the quarterback with more than 4 because they can't do it with 4 consistently, so he's going to come after you. He's going to bring the nickel blitz. He's going to bring Rashawn Jenkins down. He's going to come after you. He's going to run Mike Scrape with Wilson. He's going to blitz Miles. I mean, he's coming at you. Like, I know it, and like he is.
And they've been consistently saying that all year.
And
too.
Are they perfect?
Yeah.
No.
But
are they like good enough? Like, you give up 20 points in this league, and you're giving up 10 at the middle of the third quarter. You should be in it. And Urban said it, and I agree with Urban on that. And so at least I know what they're trying to do, and I think they're going to keep on fighting. And I give Urban and his coaching staff, because you have to give him credit if you're going to also criticize in other areas. They are playing hard on defense still. They're attacking. They're trying things, and their special teams are good. They are atrocious on offense. They're atrocious. I no other way to say it.
And here's the other thing about this whole thing. We're not going to. When you sit here and say, okay, what are the solutions? Is it to change coordinators? Is it to fire the offensive staff? Is it get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy? Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that Urban Meyer came back for next year, and the offensive staff didn't. Well, that's going to cost you a boatload of money to replace that offensive staff. If those guys don't get jobs, you're going to have to pay them. And then if they do get jobs, you're going to have to pay the offsets. So it's going to cost you a boatload of money to replace an entire staff. And here's the other thing. Who's going to want to come work there?
Well, but Pete, that's
who's
a great
going to
and I want to talk about that later, Pete, because you bring up a great point there, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I can tell JP's looking at the clock, and we're about
I'm just sitting here.
God, he is.
Yeah, he's looking at the clock.
Got to stay on time.
Because like, let's just take all the noise that's come out of here. And by the way, it's been coming out of here since October.
Yep.
This isn't like all of a sudden breaking news. I mean, you've heard the murmuring and the questions and the controversy and national media and let me tell you, and Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. The way national media get stuff is either a relationship with the coach, relationship with the player, so direct from there, but more times than not, it's through the agents. Because the relationship to the agents, the players and the coaches talk to the agents, and the agents are going to the national media. Am I wrong, Pete?
Well, a lot of time you can get it from the agent, but you're right about what you said earlier. If Tom Pelissero got it from an agent, then he could cross-check it with another agent.
That's
and then
right.
if you have 2 or 3 and the agent says, yeah, my guy's really frustrated in there, this is what happened. Yes, it happened. You got validation and you got a story. That's exactly where a lot of it comes from. But you're also hearing it from leaking inside. Look, can talk all day. I don't want to hear the leaks.
Well, I get that.
It comes inside the bit. Look.
But Pete, my point is
that.
this, and I want to unpack this a little bit because I do what Pete's saying. And again, who knows what's going to happen? They have 4 games left. They got the Texans this week. We should talk about them. Like it feels low right now. You get swept by the Texans, we'll feel a whole new low here.
Yeah, it could always be worse.
Let me just say that.
Always.
But here's the thing. Let's fast forward to the offseason. And if there is going to be, if Urban Meyer makes wholesale changes because it's just not working, well, now you have a perception issue. And I talk to coaches around the league, and I know you, Pete, does too. And they all talk. That's a small community.
You're in the club,
and like that starts like a brush fire, starts burning. Is okay. Now Urban's got to go get a brand new staff, and where do they come from? And now with that, he has relationships. A guy like Dan Mullen, and I'm not saying Darrell Bell was getting fired. I'm just saying these are the things that all the noise. Then you get the free agencies. You get to recruit guys to come here.
A lot,
and so it's a lot. Why this is bad. And why I hate this for the organization, and while you need to find a way to win, like winning cures everything. I said it all the time. It's like a good gravy on a bad piece of meat. Makes everything better. Is you have to win because you got to quiet this stuff down because it will carry into the offseason and it will impact you for next year.
All right, guys, let's take our first time out. Plenty on that ahead. Pete Prisco will have a chance, of course, to jump in on that one. We'll talk a little bit more about the offense yesterday, the offensive line. Had some issues in pass protection, Tony, you said?
You think?
Yeah, okay. And then in the second hour, we'll get your social media questions. We'll go around the National Football League. Plenty ahead. We're just getting started. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. And by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
Introducing Ultimate Jags, the free-to-play next-level fantasy football game. Open packs, collect players, build your roster, and pick your weekly lineup. Scratch and claw your way up the leaderboard and compete against Jags fans for fantastic prizes. Download Ultimate Jags now from the App Store and Google Play and get ready to win.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You guys give up on the run too early?
Good question. Good question.
But is there a good answer?
I would say we probably did. What happens, you get down a little bit, you get frustrated, and you know, as a play caller, you get stuck in 2nd and 14, 2nd and 10. 8 carries for 0 yards, whatever, 8 yards or something like that. So, but we have to establish the run.
The late in the third quarter, they're still only 10 points down. So, you know, you can still run the ball at that point, can't you?
Sure.
That's head coach Urban Meyer today, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon after a 20-0 loss to the Tennessee Titans for the Jaguars in Week 14. The Jags are now 2-11, and on their second 5-game losing skid of the season, J.P. Shadrick, Tony Boselli here in Jacksonville, Pete Prisco down in South Florida reacting to the game and everything around it. And there you have the answer on the running game, Tony, that you brought up a moment ago.
But again,
8 carries, 8 yards, 7 carries by running backs.
Well, he really didn't answer it.
No, and he goes on. If you listen to the rest, he said the game got away.
Was that Gary Smith?
That was Smith.
Was that Gary Smith?
That was.
Yeah. If he doesn't flippantly say, "How about a good answer?" He doesn't even answer the question. That's part of that. What bothers me about that is there's no passion back. If you had asked Tom Coughlin that question in the exact same situation, oh my God, the reaction you would have got from that, okay, fine, good. I mean, show me something. You know, I want to see some burning passion for the game. It's like when he walked off the field Sunday. What was that? He looked lost.
That was a powerful handshake with Mike Vrabel.
Oh my God, he would have thought they never met each other before. I met the man for 15 minutes and I got a better handshake than that. I mean, give me a break. Maybe that's what I want to see more of. At least show me some care, want to, passion. Get angry at somebody in that press conference because clearly they were trying to. Was that today? That happened today, right?
It was today, yes.
Yeah. They were trying to get a rise out of him. It's almost like I've seen this play out before, by the way. There's a wounded animal and the vultures start circling. If the animal isn't wounded, the vultures don't circle unless you're a true vulture. Then you eat anything. But don't you see that happening? It's like the vultures are starting to circle now.
But part of the problem is, Pete, is for whatever reason, and maybe this is the advice that Urban's getting, he does not give clear, concise answers. They're vague. They're I don't know. They're have to ask an assistant coach, which we then find out that might not be the truth, that it might have been his decision, I mean, based on the reports. Mm-hmm. And so I think you're seeing the media basically saying, I think fans and in general, people are saying, wait a second, like, we want a straight answer. Because I think that's been part of the problem. And maybe that's the advice he's getting. I don't know Urban Meyer. I've literally had 2 conversations with the man. didn't follow him closely outside of knowing he was super successful at Ohio State and Florida, obviously. But I mean, I've never watched a press conference before. Maybe this is his style. Maybe this is what he's been told to do. But it's not building confidence. And I think you're seeing people like, wait a second, no. Like, hey, what's the answer? It's like today, talking about young players and guys getting more playing time. The question is about Cisco.
Yes.
And the question is like, why isn't he playing more? And Urban says, oh, he's doing better. We're getting him more time. Yeah, we're getting him more involved. Well, he had 0 snaps on defense. It's not consistent.
He had 17 on special teams for
That's
the record.
Right. No, absolutely. But the question
none
was
on defense.
But the question was, and Urban said he's doing a great job on special teams. And everyone said, yes, that's great. He had the punch out of the fumble. It didn't get called. Doing a great job. That's awesome. The follow-up question is like, when's he going to get on? What about defense? Well, we're getting him more involved. He's been more involved. So that's my point is saying this is a lot of this is you build confidence and like you can. Let me give you an analogy because it's the best one I can do on this, just coming off the top of my head. Is I'll never forget when I was a player and, you know, Kevin Gilbride was our offense coordinator, and then Mike Mazur was our offensive line coach. And they'd always say, until you answer the question on the tape, they're going to keep on asking. And what they'd say is like, okay, if you have to play a bare front, which is a defensive front where the center and the 2 guards are covered up, it's a heavy stop the run. And they say, if you don't have an answer, then you're going to keep on seeing it over and over again. If you get the Mike Sam blitz and you don't have an answer for it on film, as an offense, they're going to keep on going at you.
Why wouldn't they?
Because that's it. And I like sometimes is like you don't get clear answers, or they're a little bit. You have questions about them, and I think that's what you're seeing, Pete. To your point, you use the vulture analogy. Like people are like, no, we want to know. Like, in that until we get clear and concise, I think that's where we're going to go down.
But the scariest thing about it is, what if he doesn't know the answers?
Well, that's a whole nother issue, Pete, if that's the fact. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he knows the answer and he just doesn't want to answer it.
Yeah, now, that's the scary part if he doesn't know the answer. One thing he said yesterday, he never had to deal with this before, the leaks or whatever, because let me tell you something. There's a big difference between covering college football and covering the NFL, and I know I've done both. It's a different animal. And particularly at Ohio State, where everything's great, you're winning. At Florida, where everything's great, you're winning. Yep. It's a different animal. You're dealing with sheltered college kids who get very little access and very little that, you don't deal with the agent and everything else. Well, here you're dealing with players who are men, A, they want to be treated like men, and B, you have agents like Tony talked about. You have periphery people that are involved, and there's more people. You're going to get stuff out. That's why you've never had to deal with this. How many guys covered Ohio State on a daily basis, day in and day out? 1, 2, maybe beat guys? And nationally, yeah, they were a big program, but there's so many of them that you don't necessarily focus in on that one. And so now in the NFL, there's only 32. National writers, there's a ton of them. National, TV people everywhere. There's a lot of them. And there's more people around in the city that are there every day. So you're dealing with that constantly. It's a different thing. And I've covered both of them, Tony. It's entirely different.
But, Pete, don't you think that like some of the problem is sometimes not just giving clear, concise answers? Like, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. It's my decision. Like, what happened to James Robinson? My decision not to play him. Or I'm not getting to it. It's a coach's decision.
Yeah, right. Keeping it internal.
That's why.
Right.
Like one thing about Tom would answer the question.
Right. Was that Pete?
Tom would answer the question. As maniacal as he was, he would answer the question. No, we didn't go there, but this is the reason why. We didn't think we could run the ball. We didn't want to run the ball. It was our pride. We came in with a plan to throw the ball. Next time we're going to run the ball better. Boom, end of story. You got your answer and you moved on.
So I think that's part of
it. So I walked down the hall with him and berated him the entire time. That was
of course you did. Well,
Pete, I'm curious, just as a test case, like putting you in the press conference, like rewinding the tape of like letting Pete attend the press conference and ask questions as the beat writer. I don't think anyone.
You know what? I never liked asking him in that setting because then those guys always got my material on TV before I could get it in the paper the next day.
Ah, that's right.
Remember?
So you'd always wait to get him one-on-one?
So I'd wait and walk down the hallway with Tom, stop and talk to him, ask him my questions, let him scream and yell at me for whatever reason, and then I got my story. Because I didn't want to ask the questions so everybody else had them. So I didn't ask him in that environment. I just watched.
You're sneaky, Pete. You are sneaky, sneaky Pete.
That's good. That's good, Pete guy.
Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete, I like that.
I like that. Last week it was Flipper. Now it's Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete, Flipper.
We keep adding names up for Pete. Let's come back in a moment. We're going to hear from the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, on the 4-interception game yesterday. Defensive side of the ball played okay. We'll get to that coming up. Draft talk will commence tonight. The Jaguars have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. And in the second hour, your social media questions and much more. It is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Turn potential into progress. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Pinpoint, the official signage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, helps business decision makers like you maximize the impact of their brand. Your company's identification, advertising, and even the words you use make an impression on your clients. With Pinpoint as your coach, you can make sure it's a good impression. Pinpoint provides the creative design and production services for anything you need to enhance your brand, from custom signage to complete marketing solutions. Step up your game with Pinpoint and create the ultimate brand experience for your clients. Visit experiencepinpoint.com.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150. Built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
At Ameris Bank, we know that you have a dream. Maybe it's opening a second location for your business. Maybe it's owning a home. Perhaps it's building your nest egg or even buying that new piece of equipment. From car loans to corporate loans, from depositing your first check to setting up your business's payroll, we're here to make your dream possible. It's possible together. See what's possible at amerisbank.com/stories. Ameris Bank is a member FDIC. All loans are subject to credit approval.
As drivers, our surroundings are constantly changing. Like, when did this lane become a bike lane? And why can't I turn right on red here? And not just change, we have distractions too.
Grandma, look!
Cute ones, but nevertheless distractions. So it's important to always pay attention, especially around crosswalks. 1 in 4 traffic fatalities involve a pedestrian.
You're smart, Grandma.
Smart enough to know that safety doesn't happen by accident.
Alert today, alive tomorrow. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
We had a couple calls that killed some momentum. I have to look at it. I'm not saying they were bad calls, but just you look at it. You know, we hit a big play and there's a holding call, brings it back. So we gotta be more. You know, we gotta be better with penalties, like we've said earlier in the year as well. And then for me, I just gotta finish better. Got to keep playing. Like I said, I felt really good at the end of the game. I thought we were doing a good job taking what the defense was giving us. Felt like we were on all of our assignments and just got away from us in the end. And I didn't think we played a full game at all. Obviously, you can tell that, but we got to help our defense. You know, they kept us in the game, gave us plenty of chances, and we didn't do anything with it. So.
That's Trevor Lawrence after the game in Nashville. He was 24 of 40 passing, 221 yards, a career high 4 interceptions, 35.5 rating, ran the ball once for 2 yards. That's, 25% of the rushing yards for the Jags yesterday.
Good job.
Thank you, math. So there you go, 14 picks for the season. Trevor Lawrence struggled yesterday. Now, he also said that, a couple of tip balls, Shenault should have made the catch on one. 2 were just kind of bad decisions, and so it's kind of a mixed bag in the interceptions department yesterday. They all count on his ledger, though. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli recapping a 20-0 loss.
They need to score. That's all you need to know. And I get what Trevor's saying, and I can't even imagine, how difficult this is for him. First overall pick, all the pressure, wanting it to be good, wanting to be the guy, wanting to come to this organization and change things, and it being worse than ever. That's not easy, and I feel for him. But the reality is, even at the beginning, it wasn't good. We were moving the ball. With 4 minutes left in the first half, you had 33 net yards. It was never good.
Yeah.
Like I heard Urban say, well, we were efficient in passing the game. What does that mean? When you don't score points and you have 33 net yards, nothing is good.
It wasn't good.
There's nothing good.
And I watched it today on tape, and it was awful.
It's nothing good.
It was awful. There's guys don't get open. The offensive line was awful in pass protection at times. Andrew Norwell the last couple weeks has been terrible. Bad.
Can everyone stop texting me and tweeting me about the offensive line? Like somehow I've defended this group all year. I said, and Pete will back me up on this, the first half of the year, they weren't the problem. They played solid football. They were running the ball. James Robinson was averaging 5 yards a carry before Seattle. They were low sack total. They weren't. J-Rob got hurt. The whole thing fell apart. Might go to my point of saying he was your best player, that you should have featured him more. And the offensive line now is playing poorly. This week, both guards, no good. Last week, both guards, no good. Juwan Taylor, inconsistent all year, not good this week. Shatley was fine, and Cam Robinson's been the best offensive lineman on the team this year. So everyone on Twitter, leave me alone.
Yeah, and they got to think about the right tackle position.
Play Walker Little. What does it hurt at this point? I've been against that.
What about Will Richardson playing right
tackle? I agree with you. By the way,
I brought that up a week or two ago, and I got thrown to the wolves.
And I shut you down. I'm at the point now, listen.
And now?
Find out if he can do it. Find out if he can do it. If he can't do it, then you got a lot of positions. Now you're fixing. Let's just be clear offensively. Got to fix wide receiver.
Yeah.
Got to fix tight end.
Yeah.
Okay,
unless you're rolling with Dan Arnold again, if he's healthy.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
Fine.
Got to fix the offensive line.
Sure.
What are you going to do at running back?
See who's healthy next year. Is ETN 100% ready to roll?
My point is, the offensive line is made up of 5 people. You have to make a decision on Cam Robinson. You have to make a decision on your left guard, which I can't imagine the way he's been playing, they're going to bring him back. You got to make a decision for Brandon Linder, who's been hurt all year. The last couple of years, he's been struggling to stay healthy.
I think he's missed 40 games in his career, somewhere around that.
And
number.
I hate it because I'm a big Brandon Linder guy.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with AJ Cann, who's been out all year basically, was not playing great before he got hurt. Had a very good year last year. Your right tackle is struggling like no one's business. Find out if Walker Little can do something so you can check the box at one place so you're not fixing everything. Yeah, because you only
exactly.
Because remember, we were talking about this last year. You only can fix so many things each year.
That's right.
Well, things that you thought were okay. Remember, Urban and Trent Baalke told us in the offseason, I love our offensive line. We have a good, strong group.
They brought them all back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not playing out right now the way any of us thought. And so now you add that to the list. And so you got to start checking things off the list and find out if guys can play. Can Walker Little play at this level? Let's go find out.
Can Will Richardson play if he plays some more? Can he play somewhere?
At least we've seen him in games.
Right, but look, the way Andrew Norwell's playing, he ain't coming back next year, so put somebody else in there.
Well, Pete, and you know me, I'm not one of these, but at this point, it's hard to argue.
So I was right.
You weren't 2 weeks ago. You are now.
You can say it.
You are now.
Do they have any backups beside? Okay, it would be Walker Little, Richardson, and Shatley's in there. There's nobody else, right?
Well, you have AJ Cann, who's on IR. You have McDermott, Casey McDermott, who's the backup center with Linder out.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not like it's a lot of depth that you're talking about.
No, nobody has depth.
No, I know that, but it's not like you have a bunch of young guys you've been developing. That's why I'm like, you got to go find out what Walker Little is. Like, I'm at the point. This is where I'm at.
Look at the Green Bay Packers, though. They're on their third tackle. They have a rookie right guard. Last night, their starting right tackle, who's a converted guard, went out, and they had to put a backup in there, and they're on their backup center. They just keep winning. Okay. I mean, granted, they have Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is bad.
Let me give you a couple names, Pete.
Figure out a way at times to
Pete, let me give you a couple names.
I don't think anybody's getting better on that offensive line.
Let me give you a couple names.
I went through this the other day with somebody. Who has gotten better on the offense? In the last 6 weeks, who has improved? Anybody? Name one. Got one for me, Tony? JP,
yep.
Got one?
Laquan Treadwell.
Treadwell's played better.
Okay, I like it. You got one. Ding, ding, ding.
That's all I got for you, Pete.
You just asked for one.
So. Okay, you gave me one, and I'll give it to you. Because he actually at times looks like an NFL receiver should be a complimentary player on the offense, maybe. Yeah. But that's it. The back hasn't gotten better because they don't use him, and he's been hurt. Quarterback's gotten worse. The line has gotten worse. The receivers are no better. I mean, every time Chenault goes in motion, are they going to throw him a screen behind the line of scrimmage and ask the two receivers to block? I mean, it's maddening to watch. Well, it's a maddening offense to watch.
I'm at the point now. Play Cisco. Put him in there. Start him. Find out if he can play.
All the youngins are getting in there.
Play ball. Like this, what's his name? Jordan Smith. I don't even know who his name is because he's never been around.
Hasn't been up. Yes.
Like, get him up. What do you have to like? What is Chase on giving you? What is Jihad Ward? I know he had a good game, whatever, last week. What are you getting? Find out. Are you building this thing around Jihad Ward and
Well, Ward was a free agent signing.
Okay, great. Let's get Jordan Smith. Can he rush the passer? Because we don't rush the passer very well. And it's outside of Dwan Smoot is our best defensive player.
He's consistent.
He's our best
out there every week. He's going to have a few tackles, probably a sack.
He's going to pressure the quarterback. He's good.
Good.
But my point is, put Jordan Smith out there. What other rookies we have?
Jay. What's his name?
Jay Tufele.
What?
He needs a lot of work. He got his opportunity last week. It was not great.
Right.
It's really about it. I mean, Tufele, Jordan Smith, Cisco, Tyson Campbell. Those are the rookies.
Start Walker Little, Jordan Smith, and Cisco. Let's go. Or put Jordan Smith out on third down, whatever. Why not? I'm there. I've given up.
Hey, we'll take another timeout. We'll come back, a little defensive talk, and dig into their day as a whole yesterday.
Okay.
Second hour, we're going to keep it real.
The whole thing's keep it real?
No, at some point in the second hour, like we always do.
Are we not keeping it real now?
Oh, it's real.
Okay.
It's been kept real for a long time around here. So when we keep it real, though, we're going to talk draft because the Jaguars have been eliminated from postseason contention. Of course, your social media questions. Plenty ahead. Veterans, choose VA for the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
Enjoy fall savings going on right now at Renewal by Anderson. Buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off, plus $50 off each window and door. There's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Designed to withstand the harshest weather environments. Visit rbafla.com for more. This offer expires December 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Kind of hard to find the words, but it's not like I'm going to tell them to give up. You know, my main thing is being the leader that I am. We got to keep fighting. You know, it doesn't matter the outcome, circumstances, you got to. So the main thing, me coming back, we're not going to lay down for nobody. So it's back to the drawing board. You know, each week, we got to figure out something, how to get better at something. So that's the part we're going to figure out. We're going to take these 24 hours, figure out what happened, adjust. We got to make some arrangements, make this stuff work, get this stuff clicking and get us going. So we're going to figure it out.
That's Shaquille Griffin, Jaguars cornerback. Yesterday in Nashville after a Jaguars lost to the Titans, 20-0 the final score. First shutout loss for the Jags since 2009 when they lost 41-0 at Seattle. It's a long time ago. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, and, you know, the defense, we'll get back to the offense a little later. There's plenty of time for that, of course. The defense yesterday allowed 263 yards to the Titans. That's the second best day of the season for the Jaguars defense as a whole in total yardage allowed. And then after the interceptions from Trevor Lawrence, those ensuing possessions,
sudden change was good.
They allowed 21 yards and 3 points after those interceptions. So
they did a good job.
They did what they could do. They just didn't have a lot of help from the other side.
I mean, they couldn't get off the field. I mean, the flip side of it is they had trouble getting off the field the first 3 drives.
There were some long drives.
They didn't force a punt. They gave up a touchdown, missed field goal, and a field goal.
10 plays, 9 plays, 15 plays, respectively.
That's part of your job, too. You have to give your offense – you got to get some 3 and outs up your offense out. But overall, yeah, it's 10-0, middle of the third.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
Do something.
Right. So, I mean, Pete, it was their second-best day by yardage. I mean, they're doing what they can on defense.
No, they actually played well on defense. And you know, look, they play hard. They're not the greatest in terms of talent, they do play hard, and I think Joe Cohen's done a good job compensating for the lack of talent. I think that just pure talent he has to go win. I mean, there's another side of the ball. Who's playing well on that side of the ball?
Well, we touched on that. Dewan Smoot. We talked about that. There's one.
Again, yeah, I think Dewan Smoot plays. He's another one that plays hard and tough and physical.
Yeah, he's a starting football
and shows up every week.
Yeah,
yeah. I think if you could start him at one end if you had the elite dominant edge rusher at the other end.
Yeah, Josh Allen has disappeared the last 3 weeks, and I don't know where he's
on the injury report. He was on the injury report last week. I know that. Shoulder.
Okay.
So I'm just saying.
Well, that's starting to become a problem too if he's on the injury report, because he was on the injury report. He's been injured a bunch.
No, but he's playing. If you go play, you got to produce. If you want to be the guy, like you got to go sack the quarterback. Like Harold, I mean, is he as good as Harold Landry? Not rushing the passer.
Should be.
No, he's not right now,
He's
Pete.
not.
Harold Landry has 11 sacks, I think. Harold Landry
Miles
can rush
Jack,
the passer.
Miles Jack? He didn't play that well on Sunday. I didn't think he was okay.
He was fine. Damian Wilson was good.
Yeah. Wilson had 10 tackles and a sack.
Roy Robertson Harris or Roy Roberts, either one. Both are good.
Robertson Harris. He had 4 tackles and a sack and
Both
2 quarterback hits.
Both
Thank
played
you.
well. Sorry. Shaquille Griffin played well. Rayshon Jenkins, I thought, played well. They were physical. Yeah, they played. I mean, they did a good job. I think Devon Hamilton, after I think he got benched. No real report. He wasn't active last week. He was better. He still gets pushed around a little bit.
It's about Wingard. Everybody's all over Wingard.
He's got stupid penalties. You can't hit the quarterback in the head. You can't. Everyone knows you can't go dive at offensive linemen's legs as they're trying to block you. You can't do it. Don't do it. Stupid.
And is that where Cisco goes in?
Yeah, that's where I put him. I would start next week. This is how I'd start: Rayshon Jenkins and Cisco in the secondary, and I'd start Walker Little at right tackle. And if you don't want to start right tackle, guess what, Walker? You're starting at left guard. Like, I'm putting you on the field. You got to go play. I picked you in the second round. I got to know if I can count on you to be a starter next year. I'm playing.
Yeah, that draft needs to get guys on the field.
Got it.
I mean, out of that draft, there's 2 guys playing. Two. That's it. The quarterback, number 1 overall, and Tyson Campbell. That's it.
No, you got to.
You can't blame that on the previous regime.
So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, defensively, give Joe Cole credit. I mean, first year coordinator, tough situation. You've seen some growing pains of getting guys on the field at times, but he keeps on working at that. I like Joe. I root for Joe. He's a friend, and I think it was ugly at early. It was not good, but they've gotten better, and that's all you can ask. If you would have told me the offense was getting better too, okay. I actually could live with if you're 2-11, if you you're progressing. There's hope. I think one of the big issues that this franchise has, this organization has, is I think people have lost hope. I think the fans right now are like, what do I have to look forward to next year? I can't even talk about draft anymore. I was all excited about Urban and Trevor. It's worse now than it was last year. And so you lose hope. And that's what you can't have happen. That's why they have to win this week. They got to go beat the Texans.
Are you going to lock it?
No, I'm not. Well, I wouldn't do that to the team. My locks have been terrible this year.
Okay.
But, I mean, listen, the Texans have a rookie quarterback, Davis Mills.
That's right.
He's playing better than the rookie quarterback in Jacksonville.
They got a bunch of different pieces and parts and stuff and guys hurt. So, you got to go beat those guys. You have to. Because you want a new low?
No, I don't.
You want a new low?
No, I don't.
Go lose to the Texans this week.
I'm no thanks.
We can't. You can't lose to them.
Home game, defend the bank, lock down the bank.
Lock it down.
All that.
You have to. You got to win the game.
Got to score.
Well, and here's the thing.
Start with that.
They're scoring 9 points a game. Now, here's the
since the bye, yes.
Since the bye game. by.
So it's only 13, under 14.
Here's the good news
for the season.
The good news is we're averaging 13.8 points a game.
Yes.
But that's 0.2 more points than the Houston Texans. They're only at 13.6.
That's right.
I say we just go with the stats, win the game, move on.
Analytics.
Analytics.
They don't lie.
You like the under. It's going to be a low scoring game.
I've never bet an over-under, but if I was setting the line, I'd put it at like 21. No, 26.
What does that even mean?
30, whatever.
The
What's a low line? What's a low over-under?
Oh.
In high 30s is a low over-under.
Oh, gosh. They're not getting high 30s.
That means it's like, 16 to 14.
Yeah, it's 30. I go 30.
Wow.
You know, it's still, when you look back on it in the last month and a half of the season, it's still amazing that the Buffalo Bills lost 9-6.
9-6. And the Jags had to, Trevor had a good day in London, but they had to kick those 50-plus yard field goals to win at
think about
Spurs.
that. Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
That's how you've won 2 close ones, like really close ones.
Yep.
You haven't lost any close ones, have you?
Not really. They had leads other times and lost
but there was
them.
nothing like in the fourth quarter where you're like, you gave up the game-winning drive.
Biting our fingernails. Hey, let's come back in a moment. The second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour, we'll hit the top news of the day. We'll keep it real with Draft Talk. We'll get your social questions, go around the league. Plenty ahead. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
At Ameris Bank, we know that you have a dream. Maybe it's opening a second location for your business. Maybe it's owning a home. Perhaps it's building your nest egg or even buying that new piece of equipment. From car loans to corporate loans, from depositing your first check to setting up your business's payroll, we're here to make your dream possible. It's possible together. See what's possible at amerisbank.com/stories. Ameris Bank is a member FDIC. All loans are subject to credit approval.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150, built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler Creative can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose between a collection of response channels from email and SMS texting to land pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You know what you expect at an airport hotel. A bed, a shuttle that's never on time, and if you're lucky, a day-old Danish on your way out the door. But at the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you get a renovated lobby, restaurant, and bar, and 10,000 square feet of luxurious space for memorable family and business events. So stop by, stay a while, and expect to be surprised. Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
Because today, Tom Pelissero publicly doubled down on what he said, that he insisted that all the things that he wrote in his mind, according to his sources, absolutely happened. So you have these two diametrically opposed versions
so
of
he
reality.
doubled down on that I had a heated argument with?
Yeah.
It didn't happen. I gotta move, we gotta move on. And can I give out Marvin's text number or something? Is that inappropriate, Aim? Okay.
That is Urban Meyer today, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, hour number 2. What a show it's been so far. 1 hour to go. Well, the Jaguars are trying to recover from a 20-0 loss to the Titans. Urban Meyer taking heat again after that Saturday NFL media report of tension between coaches, players, and Urban, including an alleged shouting incident with Marvin Jones Jr., calling assistant coaches losers. Urban denies each of those, by the way. And then the game came along, Tony. Well, let me get through the open here. The game came along after that. 20-0 the final score. The Jags' second 5-game losing streak of the season now. The Jags shut out for the first time since 2009, held under 200 yards for the third time this season and now in back-to-back games, and a franchise record low 8 rushing yards on a franchise record low 8 rushing attempts. Penalties all day long. The defense did fight, but they were on the field a lot. Up next, a battle of 2-11 teams in Week 15, the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans got them in Week 1, and they've gotten the last 7 straight, in fact. Houston's won 7 in a row in the series, and 18 of the last 24 against the Jags. Yes, Tony.
So, first of all, this is the same story as last week. The Titans have beat us every year since.
I think I just got the same rundown and script and changed the name.
I'm sorry I started giggling, but when you said the meeting where Urban Meyer was calling coaches losers,
yes,
which he denied.
He did.
To be clear, he denied. I would have paid money if it happened. Let's assume Tom Pelissero's source is telling the truth. Whatever. I would love to be in that meeting. Because you know how many times I was called a loser and bad names by coaches as an offensive lineman? I would have paid money to be in that room where Urban's going. I just picture all the coaches around. He's like, "You're a loser." Because that's a little bit of what it was like at times as a player. As our offensive line coach said, guess what? It all rolls downhill, and you know what the all is. It's something that's stinky and you don't want on you. But, Pete, that just makes me laugh. Can you imagine a head coach walking around the staff and going, "You're a loser. Your resume stinks, and you stink." And just, it would be beautiful.
Well, isn't that the same staff that he said he hired? That was the best of the best?
Well, to be clear, he's saying he never said that to them. He's saying Tom Pelissero's report is not accurate.
You guys said Pelissero doubled down. Where did he double down?
On radio in Jacksonville today. He was on 1010XL earlier today.
Oh, okay. All right. He doubled down. So he said it happened. Now, look, it probably did happen. You wouldn't report that if it didn't happen. And look, the only way to see, it's like the old days. You can't go in the locker room anymore. If the locker room was open, you can go in there and ask Marvin Jones face to face.
Can you imagine? We were talking about that during the break. Yeah. That's closed now, and there's only a mixed media zone. You can get select players, and only tiered individuals can do that. So
they need to open the locker room back up.
And only in group settings. So it's not, in the old days, you used to be able to go in there and you'd go over to a player and, hey, what's going on? You're not playing real well and he's not playing you. You're mad? Yeah, I'm mad. Okay, got a story. Hey, you can't do that anymore. Because, A, the guy's not going to answer that question in a group setting. He's not going to tell you anything in a group setting. And, look, I guarantee you, if that happened, there's 4 or 5 other players that saw it or know about it. And so if you were covering the team, you could go in there and ask them.
So here's what you
say, look, I'm not going to, don't put it on the record.
Let's cut to the chase. Let's just cut to the chase. Make Bernie Parmalee and Marvin Jones available to the media tomorrow. Get it over with.
We were told last week that Parmalee was going to be available this coming week.
So is he going to be?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, Like at some point, just like get it over with. Like I'm so like where I agree with Urban's. Like we need to move beyond this. Like it's time to move on. But as long as I hate to say it, but I think is like there's a credibility because right now it's a credibility issue from the standpoint of it's the national media's word against your word. Like the only way to like solve it, and it's terrible because you put your assistant coach in a bad place and you put the player in a bad place, but that's what you did, and that's what it is. We're all adults. Just roll them out to the media and get it over with.
But what is Marvin Jones going to say?
Well, but Pete, at least it'll be over.
But here's the other thing about Marvin Jones endured years with the Lions.
Yeah, right.
And there was never you didn't hear anything like this about Marvin Jones.
10 years with the Bengals before that, with the
Right.
Lions, a 10-year pro now.
Yeah, and why if it didn't happen, why would someone pick out Marvin Jones as the person to say that? I don't know. I just like roll out Burmy Paul.
Well, I've heard of other ones too. That there's been other players that have had issues with them. Let's not sugarcoat the thing.
But my point is, Pete, this is the problem.
But Tom had issues. Tony, Tom had issues with every player.
Sure.
Yeah, here's the other side.
Who cares?
Does everybody have to be happy all the time?
Well, that's my point. Who cares? I got in a shouting match. Had to be separated from Kevin Gilbride in 1995. Mike Mason and I had plenty shouting matches at each other in disagreement at practice.
What did you do wrong, Tony?
Oh,
what did you do wrong?
Kevin? Oh, it was Kevin's fault. He lost it. I love Kevin Gilbride too. I tell him he knows it. Kevin had a short temper every once in a while, and I remember.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes,
he had a short temper. Great football coach, great dude. Love Kevin, and he.
Me too.
And he it only had happened a few times during the whole season, but he would just all of a sudden snap and lose it on guys, and just lose it. Like I can't even repeat what was said on the radio, and I would never do that because that just would happen. And I remember sitting there going, if he ever does that to me, I'm not not going to happen. And so we run we've lost 6 in a row. It's miserable. Everyone's tight. It's tense. And we run a slip screen, 560 slip screen left. And it's a difficult play for the tackle because it's timing and you have to read it make sure you go up to the alley, inside up, alley, outside. And anyways, and I guess he didn't like how I did it. And before I can turn around and get back to the huddle, he is in my grill, just undressing me. That's why I said I'd love to see if that did happen where Urban was undressing the coaches. I'd be great. I'd love to sit there and have popcorn, watch. But he was undressing me, just going at it. And I was and I lost it. I snapped. And I went after him. And we had to be separated because Kevin is the type of dude. I would have whipped his rear end. But Kevin wasn't going to let back down.
Right. Yeah.
And so he was coming, we're being pulled apart, chaos on the field. Guess what? Afterwards, I went to his office, said, Coach, you're the coach, I'm the player, my bad. He said, we talked it through. Mike Mason
Kevin would have whipped you. Kevin would have given you a beat.
Oh, I would have. The late Mike Mason and I. Tom and I had words. Because you get heated, your competitors, not because I disrespect them or he disrespects, you're mad.
Things aren't going well.
All you can ask for is to be respected. That's all. You respect what I'm doing. I respect yours. We have these spats.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Tom Coughlin's first couple years were on the verge of going rotten.
Brutal.
They were going rotten. And so it got salvaged. And he did some self-reflection and inner looking at himself and helped fix it.
No, Pete, you're wrong. You're wrong.
He changed.
Self-reflection changed in New York.
He didn't change at all, Pete. He was the same guy. We won. And guys like winning. And he was a good. And guess what? And he was a good coach. He was organized. He was detailed. I'm not even saying anything about Urban right now. I'm just saying what Tom was.
Yeah.
He was miserable. He whipped the crap out of us daily. We started winning. Winning fixes everything.
Hey.
And I want to go back to here's the big thing I don't get. All the smoke and all the noise coming out, it's a lot. The least of my worries is a coach and a player going at it. Here's the answer. Let's say it did happen. Urban just said, yeah, we had a disagreement. We handled it privately. I'm not going to discuss it with you. Okay, it's over. Marvin, call Marvin in here. Marvin, yep, we had a coach and I we discussed it like men. We're good. Okay, big deal. Who cares?
So are you gonna,
like, we had fist fights in the locker room.
Okay, are you going to publicly now go on the air and say, after all these years, that you guys weren't happy that he called out Brunell after the interception in the Titans game and embarrassed them, and that ended up being a rift between the two of them?
I am not going to get into that.
Still, 25 years, he still wanted
It's water under the bridge, Tony. Come on.
My point is this. It's not like the Marvin Jones, or it's not the James Ross. It's not these one-off. It's almost how we the response to them. Like, guess what? You're the head coach. If you wanted to bench James Robinson because he fumbled, then bench him. You're the head coach. Bill Belichick does it all the time. But then you got to bench Carlos Hyde too. You don't get it both ways. And I don't think you get to go tell the media, go ask the running back coach because I don't know. And then the report is, it was your decision. Like, those are like things you just, like, I don't know what we're hiding from. Just call it as it is. Yeah, I benched him. And guess what? If you fumble again, I'm going to bench you again.
Pete, you asked a question a moment ago. We didn't get your answer. It was about Urban. What was it?
Is it fixable? Is his handling of this team fixable? Can he change who he is a little bit? And I don't know if it is. And look, I can tell stories about Tom back in the day, and you know him. I wrote a bunch of them about how he was a dictator and drove people crazy. 3 years ago, I wrote a column, big story, on what went on after 2017 with that team. Remember all the crap that went on with that team? So crap happens on all teams, and you know this, Tony. Every single one of them has stuff going on. And you're right. It's how does the head coach handle it? And he does not do a great job of handling it. Yeah, I benched him. Sit him down, like you said. I sat him down, needed to be benched. Why aren't we running the ball? That's a good question, but I'm going to get to the heart of it. I want to run the ball more. We will run the ball more.
No, but you don't get to say that. We're not going to get to it. I'm the head coach. You're right. I need to fix it. It's not good enough. Like, here's the thing. Like, just like you are the head coach. Like, you are the leader. Not only are you the head coach, you run the entire building. You have final say on anything that happens in this building about football. You can't get up there and say, I don't know, or blame somebody else, or this person. You got to say, I own it. And you know what? It's going to be this way. And you fumble, you don't play. You know, you do this, you don't play. Here's my expectations. Like, I don't need to hear, and I don't think people, like, I think it's losing a little bit. Like, I don't care how much you like a guy, or he's a great guy, he's a great competitor. No one cares. No one cares.
So he has final say on personnel decisions. He has final say on roster decisions. He has final say on who
everything.
Plays and who doesn't play. He has final say on everything. He has final say on radio. He has final say on JP's career. He has final say.
Wow.
That's a lot of pressure on JP's career.
Goodness.
I don't know if Urban wants that one. No, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not even trying to. I'm not trying to take a. No, but Pete.
There's that Grinch laugh again. By the way,
I'm not. This isn't a shot at Urban. Like, it's answering your question. It's to your question. Can he fix it? Not the way you're going right now. I don't think you can. You want? We use Tom Coughlin here a lot. I happen to love the man and respect him. Do I agree with everything he did? Not even close. Have him and I have our run-ins? Absolutely. But I think, like, Tom Coughlin, successful NFL head coach, he is good. And he's good at what he does. I don't have to agree with everything he did. And that's not my job. I was a player. When he went to New York, and you know this, Pete, he had a revolt going on, and if he didn't change, he wouldn't have 2 Super Bowl rings. And he adjusted his approach because of the veteran team he had, guys like Strahan and Tiki Barber, and like who he was and what they were trying to do. He adjusted. And that is well chronicled. So I'm not telling anything that's like breaking news.
Right.
And so, can Urban fix it? You better you better start looking in the mirror and start with you and what do you need to do, because what is ever going on right now is not working. And I hope he can fix it. I don't I don't think firing a guy after 1 year is good. I mean, you hear all this chatter, fire Urban, get rid of Urban, blah, 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 whatever. Like, that's not good for any organization. It's not good for
It was good for the Arizona. It was good for the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, it's happened here once.
But
it wasn't good here either.
It's not good for any organization. It was damn good for the Arizona Cardinals.
But Pete, you know what I'm saying. Overall,
no, I'm with you. I normally would never. I don't. No, I agree with you. Let it play out.
And so my point is saying that
but
about
Tony. I asked Hayes Carline this the other day when I was on with them. I said, normally, have you gone to any of the Monday and Wednesday press conferences and come away? Because wins and losses, yeah, that's the most important thing. But in the first year, you kind of get the benefit of that. But you come away from Monday or Wednesday press conferences with Urban thinking, he's got it down. He's answering my questions. He's telling me about football. He's got it all down. Yeah, it'll work out in the long run. And Hayes answered me honestly. He said, no, not once. And I think if you asked all the media guys that question, they'd answer it the exact same way.
My point, but that's my point, Pete. I'm going back. Can he fix it? I hope so. Because 2-11, not very good. You're 1-15 last year. In the way it's going right now, I don't know what the line is. I don't gamble, and I know, but what's the line on the gates? But I don't think many people are picking it's a coin flip at best against the Houston Texans, who have dismantled their entire roster and spent nothing in free agency for the most part. Very little. Mm-hmm. Rebuild, scrap. And get the Jets after that. You better, my point is saying this, you got to, this is going on track as a worse season than you were last year. When you start looking at expectations, everything else.
We went through it last week.
And so I hope he can figure it out.
Pete, what's up?
Real quick, before I know you got to go to break, but I happened to see this tweet today. This was from 1010. I saw it when I looked up something. If they don't win the division in 2 years, then something is wrong. Prisco on Jaguars hiring Urban Meyer.
Oh,
that was in January last year when I knew Trevor Lawrence was coming. Well, something seems to be wrong because they aren't winning the division next year.
Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. We're going to keep it real when we come back, Tony.
Because we haven't been.
Nope, we have not. This was starting now. We're going to keep it real. When we return, it's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
This season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for football watching. Just look for 20-ounce Pepsi products in the cooler door at your local Gate convenience store and see how you could win an exclusive VIP experience at the Jacksonville Zoo and an opportunity to eat lunch with a Jaguars player. Eat with a big cat. Courtesy of Pepsi and Gate. No purchase necessary. Visit jaguars.com/zoo for official rules and details. Ends 12/31/21.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. Smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey Jags fans, this is Chris Manhertz of the Jacksonville Jaguars with a reminder that everyone has a right to arrive at their destination safely. In Florida, bicyclists have the same rights and the same responsibilities as drivers. When cycling, always wear a properly secured helmet, ride in the direction of traffic, and obey all traffic laws. When driving, get rid of distractions and focus on the road. Always watch for pedestrians and bicyclists, especially at night, because safety doesn't happen by accident. Visit alerttodayflorida.com for more safety tips.
It may be football season, but pests are in full force here in Jacksonville. That's why you need Kingfish Pest Control's $99 knockdown treatment. Kingfish Pest Control will safely eliminate spiders, ants, roaches, and more for just $99. Backed by their 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Kingfish Pest Control is family owned with thousands of A-plus customer reviews. They're hands down the best pest control company in Metro Jacksonville and a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli recapping a 20-0 loss for the Jaguars to the Tennessee Titans. The Jags are now 2-11, and they'll face the Houston Texans in Week 15 here at TIAA Bank Field. Time for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. The Jaguars have been officially eliminated from the postseason. The Jaguars draft talk will commence tonight here on Jaguars Happy Hour.
I hate it. I hate it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Draft order as it sits today, number 1 would be the Detroit Lions at 1-11-1. The Jaguars would be number 2. They have the same exact record and strength of schedule as Houston at the moment, but the division record is the next tiebreaker down. That's why the Texans have the better division record. They are 3rd. Jaguars currently are 2nd in the draft, and then there's 4 straight New York teams that it would pick. After that, if it ends today, it doesn't, of course, end today. There are 4 weeks left in the season.
Okay, so the Giants have 5-6, and the Jets have 4-7.
Yeah, because they both had trades earlier, so those
Golly,
are where the
good for
Bears
them.
and the Seahawks are right
So,
now.
And the Eagles have 3 picks, too.
Yeah, they start with the 10th right now, and
Yeah.
then they've got 2 others later in the first round.
So, all right, what are we doing? Draft? Is this it? Is this the draft talk, or are we keeping it real here?
Let's just say.
What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing.
Let's
Okay,
just say
thank you.
Aiden
All right, that was
Hutchinson.
keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Yeah,
There's
no.
the draft order. What do you want?
No. We're going to go through. Let's just say in this scenario that the Lions take Aiden Hutchinson, the local kid from Michigan, 1st overall.
I wanted Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, you're not getting him.
Oh.
Keep losing, though. But here's what the Lions have left to play. Versus Arizona, they're not winning. At Atlanta, probably not winning. At Seattle, probably not winning. And then home against Green Bay. So they're going to have the 1st overall pick, it looks like.
Oh, I think they can beat Seattle. They can beat Seattle in Seattle. Seattle's no good, Pete.
And then they got to hope like Green Bay isn't playing for anything in the final week of the season. But in all likelihood, the Jaguars are going to be picking 2nd. So if they're picking 2nd.
Or 3rd because we beat the Texans
Houston
this week.
Come on.
You just said they're not going to.
I never said that. I said if they don't, it's going to be dark. Okay, fine. I'll lock it. They're going to beat the
You're
Texans.
always locking it, Pete.
Wow.
He just
My
locked
God.
it. They're going to come off the deck and go
Locked.
score some points and win.
Let me tell you the score of the game.
I can't wait to hear this.
It's going to be the final score 13.8 to 13.6. Jags
win. Okay, so say Hutchinson goes 1st overall to the Lions. Then what? You have the number 2 pick. Where you take? What are you taking, Tony? You're taking there's an elite pass rusher at Oregon, although some people question that. Do you take a wide receiver there? I think it's way high for a wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm not taking a receiver 2 overall.
You don't need a quarterback, so you take the pass rusher from Oregon in this scenario.
Not if he can't play. I'm not taking him.
Well, he can play. I think he's pretty good. But then
is he
well, what
Deion
else?
Jordan? Is he Deion Jordan? Is he Deion Jordan?
No.
If he's
bigger, stronger than that.
And it's the second pick. It won't pretty good. Like, if it's the second pick, he better be an elite
good. He's
player.
really good. So, in fact, there's some people still think he might go first.
Okay, but who's like? What are the like? I don't even know who the top 5 players are in the draft.
Well, what about the big offensive tackle from Alabama?
Evan Neal is his name.
Evan Neal. Then you got the corner from LSU, Stingley.
Stingley, yep. He was out a lot this year. But
you could have a receiver involved. And you could get value by trading it away and getting more picks because somebody wants a quarterback.
Is there anyone who wants to trade up with me? Because I want to trade back to like 5, 6, 7 and get a receiver with extra picks.
Would the Giants be able to pack? Do they want a new quarterback? Are they done with him?
I don't know. What quarterback? Who's trading up for any quarterback in this draft anyways?
All right.
Nobody is. And that's the problem. So it's pass rusher, corner, trade down and take a speed receiver. But we know what they need. It's not hard to figure out. But they do need an offensive tackle, don't they? But that's the thing. Do they need an offensive tackle after drafting one at the top of the second round last year?
Yes. Answer. Well, I don't know. That's why you got to play Walker Little the last 4 weeks.
I'm with you, Tony. I agree 100%.
Because nothing against Juwan Taylor. Well, I guess it is against him. Because what I've seen the last 2 years,
Yes,
I've not seen a guy get better. I've seen a guy get worse and inconsistent.
Yeah, and it's not a guy that leads you to optimism for next year either.
No.
So, yeah, play Walker Little.
We'll play Walker Little, then we'll get into draft talk. Great draft talk. That was great.
No, we're gonna have we got tons of draft talk. There's gonna be so much draft talk.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you hate it so much? It's a reality. You gotta you gotta get better.
I've done no work to figure out who is even available.
Well, I mean, this was the deal. When the Jaguars were officially eliminated, the draft talk begins, and that's what we've done tonight.
Like, I mean, I don't know. You need a receiver. You need someone who can play. Like, and here's the word. I mean, you know this, Pete. The word is now that Tampa's going to offer whatever it takes to keep Chris Godwin or franchise him.
Correct.
That's ridiculous.
And Devontae Adams isn't going anywhere.
I was all looking forward to overpaying Chris Godwin.
So that leaves you a pool of guys like Mike Williams, Allen Robinson, those kind of players. That doesn't make you that much better, and I don't think you overpay those guys. So you have to draft not just one receiver, Tony. You have to draft like 2 or 3 of them.
Well, this goes back to last year. Why didn't you I hate doing this.
No boy.
Because I don't want.
Well, we're keeping it real. So
we're keeping it real. This is keeping it real. Like ETN, maybe he's a great player. He's been hurt, so this is no like judgment on ETN. I just wouldn't have picked it back there. Like, how about getting Freiermuth, the tight end from Pittsburgh? I've watched him all year at that position. The kid's a playmaker. How about going and getting the little slot receiver that Arizona got out of Purdue, or the little slot receiver out of Ole Miss? How about getting someone who can run at like a playmaker in the passing game? You're getting a quarterback. It's just curious to me, like how because now we're starting. Because here's you want me keeping a real draft talk. I'm frustrated because you need like 15 positions. You don't have enough picks. Because what have you fixed this year? You got a quarterback, and you have a corner. I like Tyson Campbell. I think he's gonna be a good player. But what else do you have? What did you fix
from last year's draft? Nothing.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea if we did or not.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those guys out there.
But ETN was picked because they didn't like James Robinson. Period. That's the end of that story.
It's hard to argue.
It's clear. It's played out.
It's hard to argue
played out that way all year long.
It's hard to argue that right now.
That was Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi.
Let me tell you what's keeping it real.
What?
Have you seen some of the tweets we got today?
Yes.
Are you going to read those on air?
Some of them will make the show.
Wow.
Others will not.
Yeah, some should not.
Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. What a day it has been so far. We have 30 minutes to go. Your social media questions, at least the ones that are airable, when we come back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
You know Scrubbles is the best car wash in town with our newest location at Kernan and Atlantic. But listen to this. Scrubbles is offering the first ever car wash family plan. Purchase any of our monthly plans and get a $5 discount for up to 3 additional family members. As always, with every wash, you can enjoy free-to-use wipe-down towels, self-service cleaning stations, and that great-smelling Scrubbles air freshener. Visit us today at any one of our convenient locations. Scrubbles, you'll know quality once you arrive.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. Introducing Ultimate Jags, the free-to-play next-level fantasy football game. Open packs, collect players, build your roster, and pick your weekly lineup. Scratch and claw your way up the leaderboard and compete against Jags fans for fantastic prizes. Download Ultimate Jags now from the App Store and Google Play and get ready to win.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. What are you laughing at, Tony? Well, your microphone is on. We're on the air.
Sorry,
what
this
is your
picture.
problem?
This picture. I'll send it your way. I don't want to get into it. It's just.
That's great. Welcome back. Jaguars Happy Hour. Social media questions coming up. What is this? What is this?
It's like trying too hard.
Oh, okay. That's enough.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, that's great. Thank you. This is awful radio. We
Sorry,
put out.
people, I'm trying to be professional.
We put out the bat signal every Monday. This has been our most responsive Monday, I must say. I'm just guessing. I don't have the stats or the analytics to back that up, but it feels like it. And let's get to it. Social media question number 1, at least the ones that can make the air. At Matthew Locke 8, can you draw similarities to that of the Finns and Flores, the Bills and McDermott, the Bengals and Stacy? Franchises had major issues at the start, stuck to the course, and now performing.
That's fair. The Bills McDermott did not. They made the playoffs their first year, if I'm not mistaken. They actually lost to the Jaguars right here, 10-3. That was McDermott's first year, so that was not really that many issues. Finns Flores started terrible, ended up closing out the season on a high note because they got better each week. Not the same story here. Stacy and question mark Bengals, they were terrible. And, I guess that would be the one that you could say was like really, really bad, and then they got better this year after the year 2 with the quarterback. But even last year.
The quarterback got hurt last year.
Quarterback got hurt. And remember last year they were bad? But they were scoring points, throwing the ball over the field, moving it. It wasn't like this. Like they were losing games because they couldn't protect. The quarterback was getting killed, but they threw it all. They had a bunch of offense, Pete, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and you mentioned the Bills and McDermott, and the interesting thing about that is Josh Allen threw 10 touchdown passes and 12 picks that first year. And he was bad. Didn't they go to the playoffs the first year? No, he didn't.
No, McDermott. The way it went, McDermott went to the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor.
Against the Jags.
And then they went and made the pick and drafted Josh Allen.
In 18, yes.
Went backwards a year.
Yep.
But played good. But they were still in games. And then third year.
They're back in the playoffs. There we go.
So it's just not. It's
no,
not,
it doesn't. It has no feel of that.
No.
None.
So no.
So none of the above.
Maybe Bengals a little bit.
Pete's a no. I'm putting you down for a no, Pete. Question number 2.
No.
At 9:04 and more, why didn't the Jags utilize the waiver wire during the season? I'm guessing this is in reference to Zach Cunningham this week, who was waived by the Texans. The Titans ended up claiming him.
I think Zach Cunningham's a good football player, but he was also guaranteed $10.5 million next year that you'd be on the hook for. So you better really like
it. Is he worth that? No.
Yeah. That's probably why.
Leading tackler in the league last year.
I'm just telling you why they didn't do it. The question was why they didn't do it, and that's why.
All right.
They didn't want to be on the hook for $10.5 million for Zach Cunningham next year.
Question number 3. Social media. At Stu Witters. I'm demoralized, frustrated, and at an all-time low as a fan. Can you give me any reason, any at all, to believe in this team next year? And note the British spelling of demoralized with an S. He's from London.
I got nothing off the top of my head right now. My only hope for next year that it's next year. I mean, there's nothing right now that gives you confidence that things are going to be like rosy. Now, with that said, get through the season, like figure out what happens, like get this losing behind you, and I think you'll start feeling hopeful again as we get towards free agency. They have a good cap, hopefully, Trevor, second-year player, makes a big jump.
Right.
So that I just contradicted myself. I said
you're a flipper.
I flipped. Call me flipper.
Flipper.
I'm flipper this week. There is things to hope for. You got a good cap. You got a young quarterback who I still believe in. Those are the two things. Cap room, young quarterback.
Pete?
Well, they did a wonderful job with that cap room they had last year.
Well, that's why I started with no hope. I was trying to give hope. So if I go down that path, I have no hope.
Take the cap back because they had a lot of cap room last year and they did nothing with it. So that's not a plus. The plus is the quarterback. If you don't ruin them, and they're ruining them. I mentioned this to Tony before, and I talked to him, and we were talking about, is this David Carr? And the answer to that question is no.
No.
And the reason it's no is because Trevor Lawrence stands in there and takes a beating and just gets back up and goes back in, plays the next play. He's a tough guy. And as a defensive rusher, if I saw that long quarterback standing in the pocket with a big target like that, I'd want to blast him too. And he takes a ton of hits, and he just keeps getting up. And you got to admit, there's times when he takes those shots, and you go, "Oh, this might be the one," but he keeps getting up, and that's a great sign. I think his fundamentals are waning. I think his eye level has come down because of the shots. I think he's sped up a little bit because of being hit. And he doesn't trust his receivers, which has led to all kinds of problems for him. He got fooled on the one interception. Let's be real. They dropped out the end. Mm-hmm. He didn't see him.
Sure.
Rookie got fooled. The deep throw that he was picked, that was a terrible throw, terrible decision. He had Marvin Jones on the other side. He didn't even look over there. And so there's different types of interceptions. Some of them are rookie throws. Some of them are just trying to make a play. But through it all, he just keeps getting right back up and going up there and taking those shots. And that's the best sign of all for him. And that should give the Jaguars hope.
Question number 4. Social media on fire today at DevilXJaguar. Please someone explain why we run the ball 6 times in a game we were in until about the fourth quarter. Why does this team hate Robinson? What do they see in Hyde? This feels like a nightmare we have never woke up from. Wow. Intense.
Well, I addressed it. I don't have an answer for you.
Well, Hyde is in concussion protocol, by the way.
He is. I have no answer
today.
for you. I don't know if Urban hates James Robinson or not. Don't have any perspective on that. Have not asked Urban Meyer about that. I don't understand why they don't run him more as of late. If it's because of injury, great. Then why are you playing him late in the game when he's injured?
Yeah, that excuse goes out the window.
Yeah, so I don't buy that one. But I don't know why. Why you don't run the ball? I have no idea. I can't answer it. It makes no sense to me. This is like
we heard him answer it earlier.
I don't buy it.
Okay.
Like it's 10-0.
Well, the evidence,
it's not out of hand. It's 10-0.
No, it's not.
You run 30 plays.
And the evidence is there that they don't like James Robinson. Look, if you were in a court of law, and you had to convict somebody of not liking James Robinson, they'd be guilty. Period. There's too much evidence there.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Let me tell you if you're committed to the run. You've run 30 plays. It's 10-0. You're losing. You've thrown it. You've dropped back to pass 24 times.
Mm-hmm.
You've handed it off 6 times. That's 80-20 split. Your run-pass ratio is 20-80. You're telling me you're committed? You're telling me because the game got a hand? I don't buy it. That's not true. That's just not the facts. Like, I don't care what is said. It's what I watch and what I see and what I call. That's not the fact is you aren't committed to the run. You're just not. And that's okay.
Well, the only game
choice.
They were committed to the run the last time they played Tennessee.
What do you mean?
They ran the ball well in that game.
Yeah.
They did.
How many rushes did they have that game?
A lot. I mean, J-Rob went over 100 yards in that game. Absolutely he did. Let's see. J-Rob in that game had 18 carries, 149 yards. Trevor
and what
had
they carry as a team.
Trevor had 7 carries. Hyde had 5. Agnew had 1. So 13, 31.
That's how you should be.
Another social media question from Twitter today. What a place. @Radis_Johansson. Happy birthday for yesterday, JP. Thank you. Thanks for a great commentary yesterday, Tony.
You're welcome.
With very little to be gained winning again this season, why aren't we maximizing the playing time for our rookies to help their development for next season? #Duval. I don't see Pete on that question anywhere, Tony.
What did you do yesterday, JP?
I worked here.
I mean, so he's thanking you for his birthday present for you working on a Sunday?
No, he just said happy birthday. Okay, that's all he said.
It wasn't your birthday, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know that.
I did already wish him happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Pete.
I'm not like you, Pete. I actually know my coworkers, and when their birthday is, I called them, wish them happy birthday. Good job, Pete.
Very nice.
So what are you, 55? Is that the right age?
No, actually 40. The big 4-0 yesterday.
Wow, JP's 40.
Yep.
And Boselli, you're going to be 50 soon, right?
I'll be 50 next April, Pete.
Wow. So you're going to go in the hall as a 50-year-old?
Not there yet, but hopefully.
Maybe.
Hall as a 50-year-old. I like it.
Hopefully. That'd be good.
That is good. I think we have one more social media question. Well, we answered the rest of that earlier tonight, the rookies playing and all that, and the Cisco and all that. @MCamp014, who are we taking in the draft? What are the chances of landing a playmaker in free agency? #GoJags. Tony, who are we taking in the draft?
I don't know.
You love the draft.
I don't care right now. But what playmaker's out there that's going to be a free agent?
Don't know yet.
Chris Godwin.
He's not, Pete. We just talked about that.
Mike Williams.
Is he a playmaker?
He's okay. He can't run.
No.
But he's big.
They need guys that can run.
He runs better than Allen Robinson does.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe Mike Williams. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
You gotta draft that speed. That speed needs to be drafted. And Rondell Moore and Elijah Moore say hello from last year, by the way.
How are they doing, Pete?
I just watched the Rams Cardinals game on tape from the first time around. Boy, they got creative with Rondell Moore. All those jet sweeps and runs and everything else.
How about tonight? And I know we'll get to Monday Night Football. JP's little read. No Jalen Ramsey tonight.
Yeah, COVID list.
He's got COVID.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a blow for them.
Yep. Big. We'll come back. Hey, thanks for all the social media submissions. We could only get to 6 tonight, and if you want to read the rest, go check out Twitter and hit any of our handles, and you can read until your heart's content. We're back in a moment. We'll go around the NFL, and here's some radio calls from week number 14. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
This season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for football watching. Just look for 20-ounce Pepsi products in the cooler door at your local Gate convenience store and see how you could win an exclusive VIP experience at the Jacksonville Zoo and an opportunity to eat lunch with a Jaguars player. Eat with a big cat. Courtesy of Pepsi and Gate. No purchase necessary. Visit jaguars.com/zoo for official rules and details. Ends 12/31/21.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour, Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco after a Jaguars loss to the Tennessee Titans in Week 14, 20-0. Jaguars ran for 8 yards in the game yesterday. We have covered that. Let's go around the National Football League and here's some radio calls from some of the games around the league. Thursday, the Vikings over the Steelers, 36-28. Tony, you were at that game, right? Thursday Night Football?
I was.
Yeah.
It was a crazy game.
Yeah, it was.
All over the place. Like, the Steelers were getting killed. They couldn't tackle Dalvin Cook. and all of a sudden
he was on pace for like the league record at
like
one point.
800 yards in one game. That's how many yards he's going to run.
Right.
He was averaging at one point 18 yards a carry. And then all of a sudden, like midway through the third quarter, the Vikings can't help 29-0, can't help themselves, start throwing interceptions and turn it over. And here comes Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Had the chance to tie it up at the end.
Crazy.
Yeah, what were they doing?
Crazy.
Kirk Cousins had that glazed look on his face until he hit that shot to Osborne down the field. You did that game, Tony?
Yeah.
Did you see Keenan?
I didn't go on the field beforehand with all the COVID protocols and everything.
Yeah.
Falcons over the Panthers yesterday, 29-21. The Browns over the Ravens. Myles Garrett with a fumble return touchdown. Jim Donovan on the Cleveland Browns radio network.
3 receivers near side to the left. Brown comes out near side to the left. He's the widest. One out wide to the right. In the backfield, Latavius Murray. Huntley takes the shotgun snap. Back to pass. Looks. The ball got stripped away. In the air. The Browns fight for the ball. And it's picked up by Myles Garrett. He's going to score. Touchdown.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. Touchdown.
Myles Garrett hit the ball. It bounded around. He picked it up, and then he ran the last 15 yards with it for a touchdown. And the Browns lead 23-3.
What a play, Pete. Garrett, the best defensive player in the league this year for you?
He's been phenomenal. He's in the conversation, no doubt about it. One quick thing about that game. Down 9 with 8.5 minutes to go in the game, John Harbaugh went for 2.
You got to make it a 7-point game so you know what you need. That's what the analytics say. It's like
if you miss it, you're still down 2 scores.
No, you're not.
Right.
I know, but if you make
I don't buy
it,
that,
down
Tony.
7,
You know how many times? I think that's been tried like 11 times in the last decade or something. And you know how many teams have won doing that? 1. It's stupid.
You're missing my point. I'm just telling you what. I didn't say I agree with it. I would kick the extra point and be down 8 and know that I'm going to try to win it at the end.
The whole idea of knowing what you got to get. Well, who cares? What's the difference? You know what you get. You're going to have to get that 2-pointer at some point, but why not keep it so you can get it later in the game and have a chance to win it?
Yeah, keep the game alive.
And
as
turned out, by the way, as it turned out, they scored a touchdown and kicked an extra point. Had they kicked the extra point, they would have had the opportunity to go for 2 and tie it.
Or if they'd have got the 2 when they did it, the extra point would have tied it. The bottom line, here's the thing where your argument falls apart, Pete. Either way, you need the 2-point conversion. So what does it matter if you do it right away or later? It doesn't matter.
Because if you don't get it, you're done. You're down 9.
No, you're not done. They saw the chance with the onside kick. My point is, if you don't get,
you have a chance. You have a chance if you don't get the 2-point play then, too.
But Pete, if you don't get the 2-point at the end, you start to kick the onside. You're missing just the math part of it. Just math.
No, I get the math part.
It doesn't matter. You got to get a 2-pointer sooner or later. Like I know.
I get that.
As a journalist, you don't do a lot of math, a lot of writing.
I know the math. I know the math. And by the way, all the data says going for 2 down by 9 is not right.
That's not true. The analytics say do it. It gives you a better chance of winning.
Let's move along.
I just explained to you it's happened like 11 times.
I'm just telling you what the data says. Go look at the analytics. I don't have the algorithm to draw it up for you right now. That's what it says.
I was told there would be no math in this. Let's move to the Seahawks.
You're hard-headed.
Seahawks over the Texans. Rashad Penny, a 47-yard touchdown run for the Hawks. Steve Rabel of Seahawks Broadcasting with a call.
2nd down and 7, run by Penny left side, breaks 1 tackle. 1st down, he is gone. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny breaks it at the line of scrimmage and takes off for 47 yards. There's a 100-plus day for the Seahawks, 137 yards for just Rashad Penny.
Now, neither one of these teams had a great record, of course, coming in. Seahawks are now 5-8, and have they kind of figured some things out, or are they just playing a bad team yesterday, Pete?
Oh, they were playing a bad team, but they've won a couple in a row, and they still have hope. I mean, they got to win out, basically, to get in, but they're playing better. Russell Wilson's playing better.
Is that since Pete Carroll stormed off the podium? Is that kind of around the same time?
since his finger got better. I mean,
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
Yes, that helps. Also, Chiefs over the Raiders, big. How about the Raiders dancing on the Arrowhead logo in the middle of the field before the game?
That's a mistake.
Unique Ngakoue got them going, and then they promptly gave up 48 to the Chiefs.
Mistake.
Does that matter?
No, but it's a bad
Does it
look.
matter?
Bad look.
Oh, it's a bad look. It's a bad look, but it had no impact in the game
I
whatsoever.
mean, they might have given up
Zero.
48 anyway. So,
Yeah, they got on the Chiefs. The Chiefs still haven't looked great on offense yet. Think about that. They scored 48 and still haven't looked great on offense.
Yeah,
The defense is playing fantastic.
like a defensive score early in the game. Saints over the Jets, 30-9 yesterday, and then the Cowboys against Washington. A fumble return touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys defense. Brad Sham on 105.3 The Fan and the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
4th and 2, Washington. Late first quarter at their own 46. Empty gun for Heineke. 4th and 2, back to throw. Rush, sacked by Parsons. The ball's fumbled out, recovered by Dallas. They'll run it down the sideline. Dorrance Armstrong dances in. That'll be a Dallas touchdown.
That made it 18-0. Dallas goes on to a 27-20 win.
Yeah, and that's the end of the division. That division is over. Cowboys are in the playoffs. And I'm going to say this about the Cowboys front, man. They get DeMarcus Lawrence back. Randy Gregory's now back. Neville Gallimore's back in the middle of that line. He had a sack. And they can move Parsons all over the place. They're going to be a handful for offensive lines in the postseason.
I agree.
Broncos over the Lions, 38-10. Chargers over the Giants, 37-21. What a throw by Herbert on that long touchdown pass. Like 65 in the air or something.
Hey, that throw is the one. Those are the ones that should be made in Jacksonville every once in a while.
Holy smokes.
He is a talented dude.
49ers over the Bengals, 26-23. The Buccaneers against the Bills, a wild game in Tampa. The game-winning overtime touchdown. Gene Deckerhoff on the Buccaneers radio network.
Godwin wide to the left. Evans wide to the right. Shotgun look with Fournette on the right hip of Brady. Here's the snap. Pressure coming from the outside. Brady throws it back. Caught ball first out of the 50. Outside the numbers 40. To the 30-yard line. To the 25. It's Perriman. Bashaud Perriman. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Bucs win in overtime. Perriman.
Wild one in Tampa. What a win.
Yeah, Tampa's they're good, Pete. They're running. They're getting, this is what they did last year. Down the stretch, start playing really good football. And the question now is, the Bills are sitting in the 7th spot for the playoffs right now if it ended today. Do the Bills make the playoffs?
Yeah, their schedule is easy. They got New England in 3 winnable games at home. Jets, Falcons, Panthers. They're in. And one quick thing about Perriman, he was out there available, and he can run.
The Packers over the Bears last night, 45-30. Thank you, Pete. Monday Night Football. It's a huge game in the NFC West. Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, no Jalen Ramsey tonight, though. And the 8-4 Los Angeles Rams visit Kyler Murray and the 10-2 Arizona Cardinals. Second meeting of the year. The Cardinals won it back in Week 4. Who you got tonight, Toe?
Oh, I think the Cardinals lay it on them. I think the Cardinals are better.
I think the Cardinals are better, too. I think they win that game. And look, the Cardinals don't get any respect. They're 3rd in scoring differential, 4th in total offense, and 4th in total defense, and nobody believes in them.
Yeah. I mean, they got 10 wins.
Wow.
I think they beat the Rams. I agree. I think the Rams will make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to make any noise in the playoffs.
All right.
But the Rams, I think this is still right, Pete. Correct me if I'm wrong, or JP, maybe no. The Rams have not beaten a team with a winning record this year.
Correct. Well, they beat the Bucs.
Sorry. They beat one team with a winning record.
That'd be it.
What about this? Matt Stafford's 0-17 against teams 500 or 5 games above 500 in his career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't
that
the old Kirk Cousins thing? Like he had issues with teams winning
big games.
Yeah.
Big games.
Hey, Pete, fun show today. We'll talk to you next week.
Was it?
You got it. See you guys.
I had fun. You didn't have fun, Tony?
I had fun. I'd like to do this after a win, though. It'd be more fun.
Let's get some W's for sure. Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, our entire crew, Brent Reber, Joe Fortunato, I'm JP Shadrick, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.